Hello, all you wonderful people out there, and welcome to another beautiful, glorious day within the world of Forsaken. With that, I am your humble god for these preceding evenings, but before we get to me, Godkiller, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. Today, I will be playing Omera, our god killer, who uses they/they pronouns, and who has just found out that everything in real life is a lie. So, also, I'm dying. So, I guess there's that. Chris, do you have anything to say for yourself in defense?
Commentary. That's what I gotta say for that. Metaphors, commentary, all of the above. If you really look into it, it's a message. You gotta piece it together. But I was our god killer. I'm your god, the person responsible for all these wonderful news. With that in mind, a couple of things, a little housekeeping here. First and foremost, in case you missed those bad boys, content warnings for this episode and series in particular include fantasy violence, gore, blood, familial struggles, drug abuse, severe weather, romance and references to sexual entanglements, monsters and monstrosities, depictions of experimentation, references of epidemics and diseases, trauma, imperialism, depictions of war, depictions of imprisonment. If any of this does not float your boat, there's a plethora of wonderful content out there for you to enjoy. Also, if you want to follow me or the lovely God Killer here, you can type !cast in that little bad boy chat there, and you'll get where our socials are on the internet and where to find us. With that in mind, God Killer, are we ready to find a cure? Are we ready? Energized?
I mean, we kind of have to or I'll die, so...
Say, dying's a choice. So
What?
with that in mind,
Hello?
dying's a choice. In this world, dying's a choice. No, but with that, I'm going on with strong energy here, folks. With that in mind, let us begin. Some time has passed, maybe a couple days, as the airship you have commandeered and have been using, Omera, has been going south, headed deep into the more foresty regions of the Empire, into the lands of Foundean, a place even mysterious to you in your knowledge of the botanical. But none of this matters. You're walking towards the med bay, and as you do, you see that various other rebels and kind of soldiers that are working on this ship all give you a look towards you. Some of them looking at you almost embarrassed, kind of look off to the side. Others you can hear mumbling behind their back. You know that maybe the commotion that happened between you and Aiden, everyone is talking. Everyone knows that you were once a servant of the Empire. You dedicated your life to Johanna the Lost. And with your recent actions in stopping their leader, although correct, many do not know the context and believe you to be maybe not the person that you are. You're on a two-front war here, between your emotions and the feelings of unwelcomeness that you're beginning to feel here. With both of these things going through your mind, how's Omera doing?
Not well. To be honest, the ways in which everybody is disapproving of me is not something that I'm a stranger to. I experienced that back in the prison. And so in their own sad way, Omera has gotten kind of used to being mistrusted and disliked for their reputation, for what others have said about Rem, and it's really not their main concern. More than anything, Omera is distracted, both in heart and mind, by the things that Aiden had said. Somebody that was supposed to know a little bit more, supposed to understand a little bit more. And just, I mean, yes, we disagree on methods and perhaps aims sometimes, but I had never thought that Aiden would resort to such callous words. So, really, it's not everybody else that I'm worried about right now, it's Aiden.
You are in a war, or maybe the beginnings of one, but it does not mean that the way he treated you was right. With it, you stand at the precipice of his wing, where he's kind of being treated, or where he is currently being held in the moment. And as you are at the precipice of the door, how do you enter in?
Reluctantly, more than anything, really. Quietly opening the door and stepping inside. First, making sure that Aiden's not being treated or asleep or, something else. Making sure that he seems okay, healing, recovering, and awake and lucid before walking up to his bed.
Yeah, you can see that he's maybe a little bit more bedridden than before. You see that he's, in the amount of time that you had, which is only a couple days, has seemed to, body mass has grown even weaker than before. A little bit more gaunt. And you see more veins of purple pulse along his skin. The infection is spreading, but you see it is not stopping him, as he's currently writing what looks like to be maybe some sort of speech that he kind of begins to tuck away as he sees you comes in and goes, "Hey."
Hey. Omera will grab the nearest chair and kind of put it by the bedside and sit on it. How are you feeling?
I could be better. Luckily, I have this, and you see he kind of pulls behind his pillow just a little flask of whiskey. It's a little bit better medicine than what they're given. So, but I should be all right soon.
You don't look so good.
Doesn't matter what I look like. It's a matter of what I can do, and I can do just fine.
Right. This is perhaps not the best time, but honestly, I don't think there's ever going to be a best time or better time, especially not with everything that's going on right now. So,
Is it an attack? Is it something happening?
No, we're okay on that
Just
front.
say okay?
Yes,
Just
yes.
say it.
Other people are fine. This is not about the rebellion or the war or other people. Everyone's fine. I wanted to talk about us.
Well, I think we fought great together, if that's what you're worried about. I did get a little out of hand, but I think you managed to hold me down, and I think I learned a little bit about myself in that moment. So I think, if you have any tips, I'm more than open to hear them.
Do you remember what happened?
It's more of a blur for me. I remember anger. I remember destroying a pillar, and I remember you killing Sabith. Beyond that, I don't remember much.
I don't really want to repeat the things that you said because truthfully, they hurt to even remember. But you were very, very angry, and understandably so. But you were very, very angry. And me being the person that got in your way to stop you from hurting people, from doing something that I think you would have regretted afterwards. Doing something that honestly would have hurt the rebellion as a whole. But I was still stopping you, and you were so angry. You said things to me. Things that I would have never thought would come out of your mouth specifically. At least not now. Maybe before we really knew each other. You don't remember any of that?
I know that I tried to activate a god bomb, but beyond that, I don't remember much. Kind of comes at the cost. I tend to have blackouts, but I guess it's still subconsciously me, or what I kind of me unfiltered, I guess.
That's the part that concerns me. If it's you unfiltered, then it's you in all of the ways that you truly feel and all of the things that you truly think. And if that's true, then I don't think that it was a good idea for us to have gotten together in a way past the capacity that is just working together.
No, don't say that. You see, they kind of get close. Hold your hand. You are one of the things that keep me sane. I guess I spent so much time alone and in the dark, but you kind of my anchor, I guess. And
that is not what you said to me before.
What I said and what I'm saying now are very two different things. Again, I wasn't.
You said that was you unfiltered.
Yes, but like, in terms of not thinking straight, not necessarily me at a core. Yes, I'm a very angry person.
And Omera who had allowed Aiden to hold Rare Hand, will bring the other hand and hold Aiden's in their own, so that they are cupping his hand with both of their own. Aiden, I know that I have a lot to learn about the Empire and everything. I know that I was ignorant of everything that was going on. But I have been doing everything that I can to fight on the right side of this war, to fight alongside you and everyone else here, even when we disagree on how to do that or on what we should do. I'm still here and I'm trying. So to have you throw everything back in my face like that, to have you do that, I'm not okay with that.
That's understandable, but you see, he wants to say something, but very much is like holds it back. I understand this is difficult for you, this whole experience, but some of us have been fighting this fight longer than you, and have lost a hell of a lot more than you. I'm not saying what I did was right, but you're still conflicted, Omera. For all your talk and actions, you still I can see it. You have a slither of hope that the Empire can be redeemed. And the truth is, it should have never been formed in the first place.
Be that as it may. You hurt me, Aiden.
And I'm sorry for that. I really am.
And Omera stands up, pulls their hands away from Aiden. I'm gonna go look for a cure for both of us. We're both sick. We're both dying.
I'll come with you.
Aiden. And you.
Yeah,
No.
I'll come with you. You see, he tries to get up.
No, please. You're not well enough, first of all, to come with me, even if that was okay, but no. I will go. You have a whole rebellion to lead. You can't just fuck off into the woods with me, so. Just. Yeah.
Omera, Forgive me. I didn't mean what I said. I've just been in the dark for so long, and I don't do well with people, because they often just die or leave me. I don't know if I can go through that again. I'm not holding you to anything. I'm not going to be a sad little puppy, but I'm just asking you to please give me another chance.
I need time to just not be here for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, he begins to turn a little bit towards your back. You should speak with Josiah. I think they wanted to talk with you. So I gotta finish this speech for all these folks. So
Yeah, I don't want to keep you.
Just stay safe. We need you, all of us.
You too. And Omera will turn around and walk out of the medical wing towards wherever I think Josiah might be. And it is heavy steps every step of the way.
Heavy indeed. But with it, you get to what is the main bridge. Once more, Josiah giving orders as they act as now head of this. A little bit maybe better than Aiden. As you see, a little bit more trust, more foundation, and true understanding of what command is. And with that, Josiah sees you pulling up on the side. Well, good morning, lovely.
Morning, Josiah. Did you have something to tell me?
Yes, we referenced the notes and whatnot that you gave us. Two things. First off, the tower, Aeneas Tower, that is a very well-known spot within the Empire. It is kind of an experimental ground, a little bit far off on the coast towards the north. It is one of the more heavily guarded bastions, but we are getting a meeting of everyone here, so hopefully we'll have an attack force to go rescue the remaining citizens of Molly. So, good news on that part. So, it's the good news. The bad news. We do understand where you have to go, but you're going to be without any of our resources.
What do you mean?
My duties are to this rebellion. And while you are an important asset to that rebellion, we cannot veer off course to find your cure with you. We have to get to the rendezvous that we've set for the rest of the rebel cells, And that will take time, energy, and manpower that needs to be solely focused on there. We can't spare anything to help you in this instance. Maybe a crew member or two, but beyond that, not much.
Oh, okay. Can I at least take supplies with me, or...
We can give you the basic necessities for you to manage the woods, but beyond that, that's as much as you're gonna get with us. We got people who we gotta take care of, and especially with the prisoners, they need our full attention as well. Get them up to speed.
Yeah, that makes sense. I completely understand. If you could, wherever our next stop is, I can kind of get off there and head out. I'll see if maybe, if you can spare them, I will see if maybe Azul wants to join, but I won't take anyone else with me.
Well, that's understandable, yes. And you see they give you a set of coordinates. If you do find your cure, or if you don't, that's the coordinates that we will be at.
Okay. Above table for you,
Yes.
Chris, how far away is the Foundean forest from, like, where the rendezvous point is?
You're gonna be walking it, so maybe about half a day, depending, but it does depend on where you go in the forest. You know, it's in the area, and it's a vast region. You do know that these guys are headed into a specific point within the forest, so they're in the forest as well, but depending on where you are is how far you will be. They're
Okay.
going to a very famous site, but beyond that, it depends how far deep you go in.
Okay, that's actually not that bad. I thought it would be further, so that's good.
And you have to make the trek across Mordor to get... No, you're kind of in the same region, but you have to dip.
Okay,
So.
cool. That's not too bad then. Yeah, so I think then Omera will just, like, take the coordinates and just, like, agree with Josiah about all of that. That sounds perfectly okay. Did you have anything else that you wanted to tell me, or?
It is one of the Archon's domains, so you should keep a bit of an eye out. They are a fierce guardian. Well, lucky to be under the radar, thanks to your codes, but the Force will give you a run for your money, so be careful. You are valuable to us, though people may not show it.
Thanks for that, I think. I'll be okay.
And, one last thing. Do forgive Aiden. He is a bit of an ass when he has his blood pumping with rage, but he is a good man. Don't judge him off of the words he says when under the duress of addictions.
I understand that. But just say you might be okay with all of that, but it's just a little hard for me. That's all.
Rebel life is difficult. You meet many great, interesting, and diverse people, but all with their set of issues and commitments to a cause. Aiden is one such person. If you are going to let him down easy, I suggest you do it sooner rather than later. He needs a clear head, and the more he dwells on the will they not, the more dangerous he becomes for the organization as a whole.
Understood. And I appreciate you saying that. Well, shouldn't waste any time if I'm going to be traveling by foot. Probably best to get a move on. So I'm going to go find Azul, and we'll pack up and just... You could drop us off wherever on the way to the rendezvous point.
Gotcha, godkiller. With that, you see they begin to give orders, randomly shouting out. In this instance, you're all being able to grab a Zool. Nothing to talk about yet, as they just agree with you. No questions asked. Any last minute things you want to do on the ship before we head into the forest?
Do I know anything about like Ada as a because presumably this whole time I thought that like Ada was the one who gave me my like particular magic and had been like watching over me this whole time. So I imagine that Omera's background of the like archons that they had been like worshiping and praying to, etc. Like Ada would have been one of them, right? So keeping that in mind, is there anything that I know about like gifts or offerings or things that Ada likes that I can maybe like bring with me, so that when I show up to the forest, I'm not just like rolling up with nothing?
Recognize a god for me if you'd be so kind.
Okay.
In terms of what you can add, I will say for the purpose of this, you're kind of in their domain, you're in their airspace legally. Legally, you're in their airspace, but you're there. You're familiar with their gospel because you study them, you believe to them, and it'd be bad if you didn't know. I'll give you that one too, because in terms of
terrifying.
This is very much one. They're not necessarily a war god in a sense, but they are very much a sentinel kind of. They're a guardian.
Okay.
It's literally in their name. So they're very protective of things.
Okay, then.
So you get a 3 to this.
Please, I swear to God, if I overkill again, I will scream.
They pull up.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I got a 7. So that +3 really came in clutch.
Jesus. Oh, bad. That would have been. That's a 4.
I rolled a 4.
God, you gave me heart palpitations with that.
That's how I get my revenge on you as the GM.
I have a heart attack midstream. Fantastic. So give you a clear interpretation of the omen. So you said you want to see if there's anything kind of what their whole vibe is. They are...
Well, specifically I asked if I could know like of like offerings or something that I can like bring as a gift that might endear Ada to me a little bit more.
I don't know about necessarily gift, because they are actually... Ada's a bit of a strange one. Unlike other Exalted, they don't really rule anything. They just protect the forest. They're not like Daros playing games. They're not like Ivor who, control the region with it. They're very much, the forest is their home, and they protect it. They pretty much dismantled the government that was in that region, the ruling houses, and gave it back to the nomadic tribes that are there. For the most part, they are more of a protector than an administrator. And in that instance, while there is no gifts, they do appreciate people who take care of the forest, people who very much act in that sense of being a protector. So necessarily, they will kind of pick up that vibe from you, as they can kind of see based off of past actions. So you're a little bit of a mixed bag here, because you have, for the most part, protected people, but especially in recent instances, you did kill people. So it's a little bit of a mix. Even though you're about a good 75% of the way protector, you still have a little bit of meta in you.
If this game had like a faction slider.
It's all over the place as I hit my mic. But in the instances, I think it is about being respectful is the main thing here, but also leaning into that sort of sense of you to be truthful about who you are. You're not here for power or gain anything. You're here for cure, and you're willing to do what you got to do.
Gotcha.
So keep that in mind. More in terms of how you interact with them rather than bringing anything to them.
I get a follow-up question according to the mechanic that you have to answer honestly. So based off of that information, me trying to think, what is important for me to know here?
What is important? Choose wisely, only one question.
Okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit. You can tell me if this is cheating too much. So because the mechanic that we're using is recognize a god, right?
Yes.
And all of this time that I have been praying to and like, connecting to what I thought was Ada was actually Daros, right? And so, and having met Daros, I now have a better understanding of what like Daros's divine energy like feels like and like what the magic feels like and whatnot. So can I reflect on my past, what I thought was connections with Ada, and at any point when I was like praying to Ada or like invoking her or anything like that, can I remember any time where it didn't feel like Daros? Now that I know what Daros feels like. Like, has there ever been a time that I've actually gone through to Ada?
I would say yes, there are seasons of nature. Seasons not necessarily just meaning winter, fall, summer. In terms of things changing. From you being a young person, changing from going from this place that you called home to this grand academy. That was a change. I think if anything, you understand that the aspect or core aspect of Ada is change. Is one of the best things. So in terms of that uneasiness, that sort of doubt that you have of, am I doing the right thing, is one of the key energies that you understand they react to and respond to.
Okay, noted that. Writing that down. Cool. Yeah, no, I think then knowing all of that, I will not try to like bring anything with me per se. Other than just like what I normally carry, so like my usual like herbs and salves and that kind of thing that I need for like herbal magic. But beyond that, I don't think I'm gonna bring anything. I'm just going to maybe, and I don't think Azul will like this, but I'm going to maybe ask Azul to leave her weapons behind. She's not gonna like that, I know, but that is gonna be my request. Very much,
she kind of gives it a very quick, excuse me, kind of energy. Why?
Well, Azul, I mean, I know
walk into
that
a freaking forest. Is that a good idea?
I know that you are a fighter and always have been, and I love you in all of the ways that you are very capable. But Ada is very much a protector of the forest, and I just think that bringing weapons into the domain, it just might not be received very positively, almost like a threat of some kind. And so I would just maybe prefer if we just, didn't even invoke that energy at all.
And if we get attacked by a bear, are you gonna fist fight it? I mean, what are you
could
gonna
fist
do?
fight it.
What are you just gonna sit there, look handsome and whatnot in the corner while I wrestle a bear?
I can do magic, so like maybe we can use that.
You see at the moment they're just like, the people I choose to love kind of energy, and then unbuckles their sword, puts it there. I am coming back for that because that is very special to me. So.
I'm not asking you to throw it away, just asking you to not bring it.
You're lucky I love you. As they give you a quick kiss on the cheek before going off, and very much declaring to everybody, you touch my sword, you're fucking dead, kind of energy. As you see people are like, okay, got it, yep, ate away.
Heard. Yep.
Fantastic. With that in mind.
I'm sure I'm going to regret that request later, but it's fine.
What? Come on out, we'll see what happens. With that, a moment comes, maybe an hour or two, and the ship lands. The two of you walk off, and while you are leaving to go find a car, you can feel lonely in a bit. As you do notice that Aiden is looking out one of the portholes there, sad to see you go off before the ship goes off. But
I'm sorry, the image of Aiden just in the fucking window, like looking out, like longingly out the window is really funny to me.
Oh my god, you're horrible.
I'm sorry, it's funny. It's like the when will my husband return from war?
My dearest Jezebel, I've missed you all these long years. You're a horrible person. This is a very serious moment.
I'm sorry. I'm
Lock
sorry.
in. Lock in. Lock in. You're going to a scary forest. Lock in. Damn it. All right. We get it. Center. With that, as he looks longingly out the window, it's very sad. The ship goes off, and you are met with the breath of this forest as you are at the doorstep, which is clearer than the eye can see as you see these trees are overgrown into the buildings that were here. You see that the information that you kind of known at the back of your head is that this place is more like an overgrown graveyard than a forest. A kingdom once stood here belonging to one of the great houses. But when the responsibility was taken away from them, Ada let the forest grow, to let nature take its course. And you see it in the bricks, the stones, buildings that were once maybe taverns, shops, city halls, bursting at the seams, trees coming out, groves that have gone through. It's a little post-apocalyptic, if anything, as life was once here but no longer is. You see there is a thick mist that goes into the forest itself. But you are on the precipice. How are we feeling as we are at this thick of woods, this mystical place of ruin?
Clarifying question.
Mm-hmm.
You said that our anti-colonial queen, Ada, destroyed the, noble houses and gave the, lands back to,
Very much, to make it quick, it's not necessarily destroyed, very much war happened, the houses kind of lost their privilege, and they gave archons, do what you will of this to me.
Okay.
Ada decided to say, this place is not yours, you didn't take care of it, and I will make it into what it once was.
You mentioned that the land was given back to nomadic tribes that were originally in the area. So is there any sign of their civilizations, their cities or temporary settlements or anything like that?
Yeah, I say you notice footprints and whatnot. You do notice there are a couple of traders that are coming in just because trading with the people and whatnot. You do notice one is getting ready to go into the thick of the woods, but for the most part here, it's kind of a little bit barren. They're probably inside the woods, very much they have their own territory or reserves that they live on. But for the most part, there's nobody at this entrance greeting you or anything. It's very much when they mean nomadic, it's they're in there and they are not keen for people to come back.
Gotcha. Yeah. Then I think knowing that there are people kind of around, but in this place, being very alone with Azul and the ruins of what used to be some sort of settlement or village or town. This is the first time that in a long time that Omera has been alone, and kind of alone. And that is kind of wild for them to, very jarring for them to experience in this moment. I mean, Omera used to live alone in a corner of the woods, and so you would think that this experience would not be that different, but truthfully, Ray has been with the rebellion ever since they were taken out of their little cabin, of their humble sort of medical practice, and thrust into all of the political machinations that have been going on that Ray had no idea were happening. And so it's been a whirlwind of a time, and Ray has never been alone in that time. And I think right now in this moment, Omera is realizing that they got really used to having so many people around. And they got used to having Aiden around. And so the silence of being alone with nothing but the forest is, maybe they were expecting it to be comforting, but I think more than anything it's unsettling.
I think with the unsettling and you feeling lonely, you do feel Dawn kind of reach out, not necessarily talking, but very much in like holding your hand of like, if you need someone to hold on to communicate with, I'm here with you, kind of energy. While they don't say it necessarily, you do feel that comfort of, we've been through a lot and I'm here for you if you need me.
And Omera will, I think, like mentally hold Dawn's hand back. A internal, like, emotional gratitude kind of filling them in response as Ray, acknowledges that Ray is not truly alone in this moment. I mean, they have Dawn, they have Azul, who is here, and so that there is some comfort in that.
Some comfort. With that, Azul kind of beckons you forward, and as they approach into the depths of this wood, do you follow?
Yeah, I don't really think we know where we're going, because we know that it's in the forest in a general area, but we don't really have much more than that to go off of. So, yeah, I guess we'll just go and kind of...
Yeah, I think if anything, Azul's like, kind of gives off to very quick without having a whole convo. Like, find a village, ask around to see what goes on. So trying to find a village. You do notice that the one guy was there, kind of gives them directions, just like, there's something this way, and you kind of get a general vibe of what direction to go to. As they kind of go off and wish you luck as you go into the thick of it. It is a wonder to behold. The air is clean. Noises of water rushing through, birds chirping, life teeming without the touch of mortals. A haven, a sanctuary. Trees as tall as buildings themselves as they cover the shades of the sun, and a slight mist gives coolness to the air. It's no wonder someone would go through such lengths to protect such a region. As you are walking, you do notice Azul kind of speaks up right quick. Do you mind if I ask a question?
Not at all.
See, they go over log. If we are gonna fight these people and whatnot, your brother seems to have joined up with them. Are you ready for that?
I think my brother is confused. I mean, I don't think he fully understands the extent of everything that has gone on, and I can't blame him. They were just as embedded into the veins of the Empire as I was, as you were, even. But, I mean, you, Anir's aspect, are here fighting on this side, so I figure that... No, I think we can change his mind.
Oh, we're a little bit different. I mean, I saw what I did was wrong, but your brother, thinks he's fighting on the side in terms of their rebels themselves, I guess. But for a different cause and different agendas, it's a little bit different, don't you think?
I mean, it is. Not wrong about that. I guess part of me has to believe that it is possible to change his mind, because if not, well, we can get him on side.
I guess, and as they continue, the mist gets a little bit thicker. Soon you begin to see what looks like to be the remnants of a village, but it is strange. As you approach from the thick of this mist, The village itself has sort of buildings built into the base of the trees, more like hollowed out homes and storefronts, connected by maybe simple wooden bridges, but along the grounds there is a clear sign of trouble, with footprints dragged through the mud. Weapon marks against various regions of the bark, and dry blood splattered across some of the doors. But the strange thing is, Omera, there's not a body within sight.
Huh?
Huh?
What?
Get it?
Does it look like... Okay, the dragging...
Mm-hmm.
The dragging marks and the blood and etc., all of that. Does it look like it leads anywhere?
You see it leads into one of these homes. You see that it's very much the door is like cracked down kind of energy.
Okay, so there's not a body because the body's in the house. That's what's going through Omera's head. And so they will kind of point out the drag marks to Azul, and then we'll kind of like gesture towards the house. And in a whisper, we'll lean over to him. What do you think happened?
I don't know. You see they go over to one of the nearby carts. A question for you. If you were in a hurry, why would you leave all your food and water? Stuff that would actually help you.
Because it wouldn't help you run away from something? Drop weight?
Invaluable still. You see that in the center, there is a cart that looks like to be only essential goods that was left completely untouched. Even though you see that it's been some time, some of the food is rotten and expiring, and they kind of corrode from a touch.
Should we go and check in the house?
I'll leave it up to you. You don't want the magic. I mean, I do too, but it's not as powerful without a sword. As you see, they kind of gesture to their side.
Well, hopefully we won't need a sword. We should at least know what it is that we are up against.
Where do you want to go?
I want to see what's in that house.
You first.
Oh, come on, Azul.
What, because I got armor? What do you think I'm on again?
Yeah, you're a soldier. You're a part of the army. What are you... Okay, fine.
I got your back up. And you see they kind of get their sort of ice magic ready.
And Omera just kind of like mumbling to themselves like, oh my god, I mean, Azul is a fucking soldier, and why am I going first? And then...
I'm a doctor, goddammit.
Is gonna, I guess, take up the front because my partner's a coward. I'm going to very carefully and quietly, like, you said that the door is kind of like blown off its hinges, right? So I'm just gonna like peek my head into the doorway and see what I can see on the inside of the house.
Yeah, just very much, boo. As you sort of turn your head off to the side there, you can see the inside of this place looks like there was a scuffle. There's more dry blood on the walls itself. But you see a little bit more clear of what actually did this, as all the weapons are broken or tattered here. Claw marks are screeched into the wall itself, still smoking with this sort of purple-like substance that sort of hazes off of it. You can feel that there's some sort of connection to it that you can maybe interact with, but do you want to interact with the thing that's emanating off the wall is the question.
Yeah. Because if you said it was purple, right?
Yes, same color as you.
I was gonna say, like, every time that Omera has encountered, like, purple auras or gems or whatever, it always has had to do with that particular type of like magic that seems to power Omera's ability to kill gods. And so I think knowing that, they feel a little bit safer interacting with this magic. But I will very quickly, I think, like put out a hand to Azul. Whatever you do, I think you shouldn't touch the mist. Like referring to all the purple stuff, because I don't want Azul to get like killed because of god magic or whatever.
Fantastic. Question, are you active impulsively?
Probably.
This is just probably. Huh?
Probably. I mean, you know more than me, so probably.
I'm gonna let you. What advantage do you seize in this moment? I'll let you answer that one there.
What advantage do I seize? Can I phrase it as a question?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I think the advantage that I seize, which is my question to you, is like more knowledge about the nature of this kind of like purple mist that is coming about. Like what I probably can't get like the cause or anything like that, but like getting a step closer to that answer of like, is this divine in nature? Is this more primal? Is this, you know, et cetera, et cetera?
You go close, not touching it per se, unless you do. Let me know. But
oh no, I do.
Getting close.
I put my hand in.
Oh, you're touching. Oh, okay, fantastic. As you're touching it, as you go on to touch it, feeling the auras of the energy, you can see almost flashing of images. They're quick and sporadic. It's raining. You're some poor villager here, and you are hiding in this domain as there are sounds of screams, people being slashed, torn, cut into smithereens. You hide in a corner, and soon the door breaks open. Someone is dragged by a creature that is dragging them in here. As they try to escape, this creature crushes their inside and begins to eat. You try to stay very, very quiet. But you hit something, and soon a pair of glowing purple eyes looks in your direction, and very much in that horror speed, grabs you by your neck and proceeds to in the vision, not necessarily your body.
Wait, question.
Yes.
Is this creature, from the like little bit that I can see in this memory, does it look or have any resemblance to the way that Aiden looks when Aiden is like on the gem stuff?
A little bit, but there's something more to it. You see, it is a mix of Aiden in terms of that physical sort of progression of muscle, the unnatural physique, but you also notice the monstrosity of the failed experiments as well. They're a mix. Unperfect, but somehow working. As you have to grab yourself, creatures came here and attacked this village. For what purpose, you do not know. But as you are doing that, learning that information, you see what hits you hard and fast. Azul goes, I think I just saw something move in the mist. As you see something move quick. Another thing moving quickly.
I turn around and I look. What are these things?
You don't know what this thing is yet, but you see the pair of one eyes opening, which is that purple neon looking, and soon you see several other open up. As you hear a synchronized as you see Azul, immediately combat mode kicks in. They use their ice magic to like seal their door frame, and with that going, all right, now we're stuck in here, so I need break plans.
Well, I don't know what these are, but I have a feeling that they have something to do with everything that Aiden does, but also the experiments. You know, we talked about that. I told you about the experiments.
Yes,
Yeah.
I understand. So get to the part where I learned how to kill them.
I don't know.
You see something crashes into very fast the nearby ice as it... Oh, fantastic.
We didn't get that far.
Well, let's get out of here then, as they sort of grab your hand and immediately go up the stairs to see if there's another way out of here. As they sort of rush, you start to hear various banging, and with that, you see coming through, breaking through the windows, these various zombie-like hand, purple skin of metal trying to get in. You get up, you see that you get to the second floor. You notice that there is kind of like a second floor to the overall settlement itself, so it's a place for you to walk and try to escape if you want to do that.
Are there windows around or something?
Yes, there are windows, so you can just like jump and you'll land on sort of like where that second like floor land bridge is.
Yeah, I am going to very quickly, like my tattoos are going to expand out the leaves, the turning into like the thorny vines, and I'm going to like throw one down from here to use as like a climbing rope almost, and then we are gonna climb down the window.
Fantastic. I don't think it's that too, you don't have to roll anything because it's not too complicated of a maneuver, but you would do elbow it, toss it down as the two of you. You see at this point, whatever comes in breaks in at this moment, and you see Ozu go, all right, we gotta run in one direction. Which way we're choosing? Left, right, or forward?
That way. And we go left.
Okay, with that, you immediately go rush off and you get a clearer picture of these creatures as you see these humanoid, sort of purple metal skinned creatures, head cracking every which way, maybe one arm too bigger than the other. Purple, blue, and purple eyes. Teeth, almost like a fluorescent blue, with fang-like maws as they have ripped clothes.
Is there a place for us to hide?
Luck check real quick. Go even or odd?
Odd.
Odd, alright, let's see. Rolling. For a second. Nope. Got me even.
God
With that,
damn it.
you run off. You see, as you do, you guys begin to go left, going into the thick of the mist, thinking, okay, we're safe. We're okay. And you see immediately something like football tackles Azul as you see one of these creatures as they have to like holding this thing by the jaw, trying to present it from like trying to chomp at her at the moment.
I will whip out a vine and kind of like try and aiming so that it can like wrap around the body of this creature, and I'm gonna try and like pull back as hard as I can, like trying to reel like a fish, so I'm trying to reel this creature in.
Okay, inflict violence for me. They wish you harm, yes. You're desperate, feels pretty desperate.
Yeah!
It's personal, not from their perspective.
I don't think it's personal. It's just a random ass creature. Yeah. Okay.
No, you killed my father.
No! I got a 6.
Ooh, baby!
I suffer 2 strain.
Yes, and Jim will describe how you are backed into a corner. With that, you are able to sort of wrap. You are able to pull it, but you do see it scratches you where you, sort of where your arm is. It's just cuts through. As it goes into the nearby log, crashing into it, you see you are now surrounded as it sort of calls to its allies. You see these creatures. You also notice they have shards in their skin as well. And I think something clicks in your mind. If this condition is long enough, it's not gonna kill you per se. It's going to erase who you are. Turning you into one of these things maybe, but worse. Because these immortals, you actively kill gods. As that is settling in, you see you back to back with Azul. Almost everything is lost at this point. you see at this point, coming through from the sky, this quite large, almost like owl made completely out of these green fall leaves, and at the ends of it, those are of yellow and red of autumn, comes swooping in, going about, providing very much wind that clears and whips them around from the sort of whirlwind of it. As they go around, their eyes glowing yellow, tree trunks on top of their head acting as horns as they speak up. Get in.
In where?
On, really.
And without questioning it, Omera's just gonna grab Azul by the hand and then climb on top of this giant owl.
With it, you grab on, holding onto whatever you can, and you see this creature back to the dark where you belong. As you see this light, these creatures kind of react and before going into the mist, before you go straight into the air. As you do, you get a much more clearer picture of the entirety of this forest, as you are from a kind of bird's eye view at this point. Soon you see something. Soon you see something. You just got me all fucked up today, don't you?
You're the one making the jokes. Why are you?
It wasn't a pun, but
Why are you saying shit to me? You're the one making the jokes.
Oh, giggly day, are we, huh? Got the funny one of it. With that, as you're from this sort of high vantage point, you see what looks like to be this towering tree that, even though it is daytime, is completely made of this fluorescent blue. As it's almost rains this energy below the land, providing what looks like to be kind of a safe haven under it, as it goes as high as maybe a mountain itself. It is beautiful, it is breathtaking. And soon you get towards the top rampart section. Seems to be some sort of balcony, made and fashioned into the wood itself, as this creature drops you off and slowly begins to, as the leaves begin to, almost like if someone was piling them up and the wind came in, begin to flow away. And you are met with the vestige of someone you believed and thought was your guardian. They are tall, maybe 8 feet tall. They have these sort of almost like doe-like horns, as it's very much cut off or like sanded in the sense, not that full kind of spike. You see that their ears flop almost like that of a cow's to the side, green in nature, matching with their skin, with various red tattoos depicting in a similar nature your tattoos, that sort of rosy-like nature to it. And with it, the most magnificent thing you see is the large wings on their back, that of an eagle, brownish red on the tops with this luscious green on the bottom, as they wear what looks like to be a very formal dress made from the various aspects of the seasons. You see they approach. Hello. Are you all right?
Omera is stunned by this. They're in the presence of a god. I mean, they've been in the presence of so many gods, but they are in the presence of a god. And Omera falls to their knees without even meaning to, just out of awe. And looking up at Ada. Thank you. Thank you, I thought we were done for.
It is not every day that I save the godkiller.
I did not come here to kill you.
You see they approach you. I know, Omera. I know your heart. You have prayed to me many times. Arise. In my realm, we do not bend.
And Omera will stand up in front of Ada. And I think without being able to really stop or control themselves in the moment, it just kind of spills out of them. And Ray goes, "Did you know that Daros is impersonating you?"
Daros plays his games. I am not allowed to interfere with his realm, his domain, and he has grown quite large. While I am sorry for the deceit he caused you, it is not my responsibility to take care of that.
Is that normal for you to impersonate each other? Is that okay?
Daros is the only one that likes to play games. He was a trickster back in the day.
I see.
I am sorry for the pain he's caused you.
Yeah. I just, finding out that everything is not what I thought it was is a lot.
Seasons bloom and change, my dear. Seasons bloom and change. You see they go over to grab themselves some tea, as the trees themselves almost act as servants, understanding what their Archon's move will be before they even get a chance to react. If you're not here to kill me, and you're not here to, I guess, recruit me into your war, what are you doing within my realm?
I seek a cure to my condition and the condition of another. Actually, and Omera turns back to look in the general direction of where we had come from. Perhaps even a cure for them as well. I believe, if I am not mistaken, that my fate is the same. Worse, even, perhaps, because of everything that I am capable of.
You are, and respectfully saying this, are a affront to nature. You are not biological is not the right word. You are not of this natural, in a sense, as they point to your stone.
And I say this respectfully as well, Archon. But you too are an affront to nature. If what I have learned about how the Archons have come to be is true, and I suspect that it is, I think we are one and the same.
You see, they encroach near you, a little uncomfortably close as they get close to your face. I am different. Born in a time of war. Born out of necessity. You are not. You are by design and by mistake. But, as you see, they begin to go back. There may be a cure to your condition, at least.
So I've been told. And from my understanding, it's here. Somewhere. In the forest, though I don't know where, and I don't suppose you have any idea where it might be hidden.
I know exactly who may have the cure, though it will be difficult.
Who? It's with a person?
The spirit. My god. The spirit of the Nefri. Herlock. They oversaw this forest. But something has changed. I have not heard their voice in quite a long time. And the undead begin to roam and corrupt my forest.
I'm so sorry. I believe that to be the work of, well, all of the experiments that have been going on. The terrible, terrible things that they've been doing to people, and that they plan, in case you don't know, that they plan to continue to do to recreate, well, what you and the other Archons did.
I do not know where my god is, but maybe you can find them.
Tell me where to look.
You are connected to the dead. Self-proclaimed god of the dead. Close your eyes and seek the source of this corruption. Seek the source of this death, and we may find where my god is hidden.
And Omera, standing there in truly the presence of the only Archon that has ever taken Omera's breath away. This is the only god that Omera has been in the presence of that they have felt truly like the divine exists in the way that Omera thought that they could or that they might. And so they are filled with belief, and they do as they are told.
For funsies here, I'll let you choose. Either we can recognize a god, or we can tempt fate.
Ooh.
Which one would you like to do?
I want to tempt fate because that's fun.
Tempt fate. A skilled ally is lending you a hand. Yes, the Archon here is giving you a little bit of a hand. You have no other options. I'm going to give you this one to you too, because
I'm going to die. If I don't find this cure, I'll die.
I will die. You're far from any god that wishes you harm. You're not in this instance. So.
Huh? I'm in Ada's domain. Does she wish me harm?
Who said Ada was the only god here?
Hello?
So with that,
Hello, Chris?
Chris? 2 plus
Hello,
2,
Chris? Who the fuck is here?
This isn't the talking. This isn't the question. This isn't the questioning phrase.
Okay.
In a row.
Okay. I'm looking at you.
Scan shrines.
No!
You had 2. Are you kidding me?
I rolled a 14. I rolled 2 sixes. What do you mean it's not bad? I overkilled.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Move the plot forward. With that, you close your eyes. Get control. The flashes. You see there is another grove. This one of a large tree. Instead of bright blue light coming off of it, it's bright yellow. But it's facade. It's almost like you're walking and you see an entrance. You go down. Pinkish light is the only source in this dome. And as you walk, you hear a voice. Well, what do we have here? A god killer. A wielder of death. How very interesting. Come. I wish to see my eyes upon you. We shall have a blast. As you are brought back into the normal domain, you have a sense of where to go. As you see Ada, are you okay?
As Omera is trying to like get her bearings again after having been functionally in this like out of body experience. I think so. Whoever that was in there knows I'm coming.
Then for the time, godkiller, we should work together.
Will you come with me?
I will.
I think that is for the best. Thank you.
See Azul on the side, and I'm coming with you too. I'm gonna let you take care of some peace, though. I'm gonna need a weapon. For reasons I lost mine. Question for you, Omera. This thing knows you're coming, and you do sense danger. Are you taking Azul with you?
Okay, well, the fact that you're asking me that is very stressful.
It's up to you. I'm just asking, because, it knows you're coming. You don't know what this thing is. It's a whole new element in foreign territory. It's just from your understanding. You love this person. This is your partner. There's that anxiety.
You asking me that makes me feel like I'm in the Life is Strange, like make a major choice the fucking screen right now, and that there's gonna be major consequences to whatever I decide. Yeah, I think, okay, thinking about it from Omera's perspective, Omera does want to protect Azul from danger and whatnot, but at the end of the day, they had invited Azul to come with them, and Rey is not going to make that decision for her. That is Azul's decision to make. And so Omera will allow Azul to come with them. And I swear to God, Chris, if you kill my partner, I will kill you.
I will drive all the way to Florida. I will find you. Fantastic. You see a sword. Wood is tossed in your direction. And you prepare to fly off towards the source of this vile laughter. And that's we'll take a quick break. We're gonna grab a snack, a banya, and we'll be right back, folks. We'll see you soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. With that in mind, let's not waste any time. Let's get right back into it. Omera. It takes you, and you go into the thick of the forest, a little bit maybe west, as you're a bit further away from this meeting, this rendezvous. And at this point, night is beginning to pull. As you do, you find your way to a place you know, and what you've been kind of discussed. It's known as Hurlock's Embrace, a valley that seems to be, from what you can see, the healthiest variety of plant life here. The skies are clear, the air is fresh, unlike anything within the woods, and especially at night, you can see the stars themselves shine as they go across the sky. A beauty to behold. The vegetation is the thickest and has not been touched in years. Fresh ponds replace that of wells that were once here. Buildings are no longer buildings, but rather act as maybe makeshift large-scale pots for these buildings and trees to grow around in. As you get off the bird, how that kind of goes. And you've never seen a god weep before. You think some divine light or some oceanic wave of energy would pour from their eyes. It is not. For all the mystique, divine magic, their crying and their tear is just as normal as everyone else, as it runs down their cheek and drops singularly. You see Ada, very much still in the owl form, kind of shiver and shriek a little bit. I have not been home in quite some time.
I'm sorry. I assumed that much has changed since the last time you were here.
They go over to one of the nearby buildings. Did you know? The rebels burned my home down in the earlier versions of the Imperium Wars. This was my home.
I'm very sorry that you lost your home. I think as well, though, you have to consider the ways in which the rebels had lost their homes first, because of what the Archons had done.
So much pain. So much suffering. Why? We look towards you. Are we here? I would know if something corrupted my home.
I do not really have an answer for you in that regard, other than just, this is where I felt the source of the corruption was coming from.
Then lead on. I am at your service, godkiller. Or should I say, Omera?
I much prefer that.
My apologies.
And Omera will lead the way towards whatever area that Ray had seen in Rare Vision or in that out-of-body experience, and I suppose Omera will take the front, will take the lead, and will ask Azul to maybe take up the rear, so that Ada and can kind of like protect both of us if need be.
You grabbing the rear behind. As you go towards the center, the tree. Omera, you have an instinct here. Not too of a hard decision or like consequences, but you understand, you feel that there is a veil on this place. As if somebody put something over furniture to make it look nice, but once you pull it, you see the true state of this place. Question to you, do you pull that veil, or do you leave this lie standing?
Question to you before I answer it is
You!
Uno reverse is if I pull it, is it just for me or is it for everybody here?
Everyone. We'll see. It's very much that somebody is blanketing, camouflaging what's going on here. So it looks like this wonderful, beautiful place, but there's something camouflaging the true state of this place.
Omera will turn to Ada. I'm sure that you can feel it too. That what we're looking at is not real.
To your surprise, they go, no. I do not feel that.
No?
I feel the warmth of my home. Do you sense something as they turn their head?
And Omera will turn to Azul, to you.
Like, this is not my domain or my thing. I just see trees and I feel air. That's as much as I know.
Oh. Well, Ada, I think perhaps the reason that you could not feel the corruption coming from this place is the veil is severing or hurting your connection to your home in some way. I don't know what's behind it, and I want to be respectful of you here. Do you want to see?
They... No, just find this source. I cannot bear to see my home in whatever state it currently is in.
Are you sure?
Yes. Sometimes pretty lies are better than heart-wrenching truths.
Spoken like a true Archon. And Omera will not pull the veil out of respect for Ada, but will keep their like heart and mind open to like feeling whatever it is that they're feeling right now, that sense of veneer, so that Omera doesn't get sucked into the lies so much as Ada and Azul are.
You, feeling your gut, begin to move, and you see, as you turn a section, not the whole veil breaks, but some of it does. As you see these roots begin to very gnarly black, having this sort of bile on it somewhat, begin to... As you hear eerily coming out of the tunnel. Enter, friend. Join me in my embrace.
What do I see?
Don't see, you hear.
Okay.
Just this crackling, and everybody else can kind of hear it as well.
Okay. Omera will steel themselves and will turn to the others and say, "This is it. Are you both ready? I don't know what we'll find down there."
Give you a head nod, both.
And Omera will lead the way into this very scary place.
Fantastic. With that, you proceed to walk into the depths of this place. Light soon begins to die. You are still able to move in the darkness, but it is the only source. You are the torch in this sense. And soon you hear this entity begin to clap. You have finally found me, Ada. How long have I been in your forest, gnawing at the teeterings of your life, your divinity? You can hear Ada, angered, flustered. Godkiller. Godkiller, godkiller, godkiller. You and I are the same. You seek death. But are you prepared? What would your father, your mother, say to their darling little witch?
It does not do to dwell on the thoughts of the dead, of people that we can never ask, can never know what they would have thought. Who are you? And Omera is just kind of saying this to the vast darkness in front of them.
It is very, I'm talking pitch black. This isn't
Yeah,
like,
like-
oh, the lights are off. This is pitch black. You putting your hand on the edge of this tunnel as the only source of gotta keep going this way. Deflection. I think they would say, you hear your parents' voice. Disappointment. You hear your father's voice first, then you hear your mother's. Abomination. Then you hear your brother's voice. Traitor.
You don't know them.
You see the door begins to open as light comes in from a dull pink. Walking closer, you reach the bottom of this cavern. You see it is a dome-like structure made from the roots under the tree, still sickly in that nature. The walls that are built inside of this are made of the same obsidian stone, just like the ruins at Stalfin. And they come to breath, life. As you see at the bottom of this place is a pool of a teal blue glowing waters, providing the only true source of light beyond the pink hue. And atop, you see there is a creature, golden light, feathery wings. You see their face is like that of a mixture between a human and a bird. Their hair is golden in nature, flowing. Antlers bright like silver. Almost as if they are trapped with the roots growing around them. And you hear the voice again. I know what they speak. I know what they hear. Those who died The day to litter all this place, did your guardian tell you how they in one fell swoop killed everyone we loved? The atrocities they brought in the name of peace.
Question. Is this voice
Yes.
coming from that bound figure?
No, it is coming from just around.
Okay. Seeing that figure, Omera is going to kind of like look over at Ada and then like gesture towards it to gauge if Ada like recognizes that person in any way.
You do, without them saying anything, just because they see like somebody speaking, they give you the head nod of just like, that's my spirit.
Okay, so that is who we are here for. And then it pings, like the voice finishes their sentence, and speaking of atrocities and taking lives, Omera will, again, speaking to no one in particular, but to everywhere at once. If you think there is something that I don't know that I should know, then speak. I don't have time for riddles or games.
Do you wish to know who I am? As it echoes around the room.
Yes.
I am the culmination of pain. You see in the center of the pool, something begins to arise. And the sorrow endured at the hands of the Empire, but in death, we saw the truth. The voice gets deeper. The figure in the center of the pond keeps growing, grows larger than Ada. The fate of the world in its honor, its horror. It begins to grow even further. And we will wage war against the mortals of this world, for we are despair. As you see this 40-foot tall combination of skeletons, dead bodies of dark magic, all culminated into a large figure. As you see, they begin to form a weapon from the shards of purple, like a scythe. And you will meet your end. As they prepared to swing at you. In this instance, what are you doing?
Dodge! I'm dodging! I don't have time to do anything else!
Fantastic. Dodging, dodging, dodging. I love it. For the purposes of this, let's just, I'll say for the purpose, we'll just straight, without rolling anything, dodge out the way. Or if anything, either you can just dodge out the way, nothing here, or you can maybe feel something out.
I would
want to feel something out.
Yeah, let's feel something out.
All right. So what feels dark and unnerving as you peer? You understand that this entity, this spare, is the culmination of everyone that has died here against the Empire. Some maybe unresolved trauma or spirits that never left have been sitting here growing in power and have taken this forward spirit as hostage to draw power from. This thing is not to be fucked with in the culmination of what's going on here. With that in mind, you have what feels welcoming on the surface.
These are people, or at least the remnants of people that once used to live here, used to have lives, used to love, used to dance and sing and hurt and cry and everything. And so This is not some divine monstrosity. These are people. And that's something that Omera can work with. That I can work with that. And so with this like large like scythe, this purple scythe like coming down, cutting into the ground, Omera like barrel rolls out of the way. And I think barrel rolls in the direction of Ada and will kind of like land at her feet. And Omera will look up into Ada's sort of countenance and will say, "This one's your mess. You and all the Archons, you have to clean it up. But without violence."
Surely you are jesting.
No, I'm not, and I don't think I have very much time to explain. And we'll dodge again.
Out the way again.
I think I'll like grab Ada this time and like roll with her, and I think this time I like land like on top of Ada, as we like kind of roll out of the way. And so like on top of Ada, it will look down at her face very insistently, very urgently. "These are all of the people whose lives you destroyed. Okay, they have every right to be upset with you and the Archons and the Empire for everything that you have destroyed and ruined. The way to deal with this is you make peace with that. No violence." And as the next swing of the scythe comes down, Omera will roll off of Ada to allow her to sort of take the lead. And I think the way that Omera intends for this to go is that they strongly believe that it is Ada's responsibility to take accountability for what the hell she has done. This is basically Omera giving Ada a chance to prove that she is capable of change, that she is capable of recognizing that which she has done. And so giving Ada a chance to deal with this, while Azul and I are gonna go and try and rescue Harlock from the everything.
Fantastic. With that in mind, Ada is going to sort of very much are still thinking. They're more dodging at the moment as they're trying to think of like, should I do this? I just met this person. Very much a lot of thoughts in their heads. So we focus on you. At the moment, it is not distracted, but kind of a little bit distracted by you. It's kind of a wide berth. But you do notice there are several creatures that sort of come out the ground, coming in your direction. With that, Azul, using their magic, forms like almost like a ice path for you to climb up. Very much Frozone energy of footing up a slide for you to go up as they take their sword, wide berth, and just cut one in half. You need to get up there now. I'll hold them off.
With that, I am going to run up this sort of ice staircase that has formed thanks to Azul. And when I get up there, up to whatever kind of area that Harlock is being captured and held in, I am going to invoke my chronomancy, and I am going to slow time down to give Azul more time, basically, to like deal with everything, and also to give me time to like tear through all of the whatever is kind of like the bindings that Harlock is being kept in.
Will the power for me, please? You have not. Oh no, you did. Did you use this?
I did it before, because we like transferred it, so I like kind of used it.
That's true. Okay. Light. I used it light.
I used it like fantastic. A beta version. I did like an early access version.
I did I did the iOS, 10. I'm on the 11 now. Fantastic. So you get one for that. Do you want to mark a strain?
No.
You're desperate for this to work. All right, no strain there. You're close to the shrine lair or domain of the god you took the power from. No. So you're just one.
Plus one. All right. Let's hope. Please.
So, Hamna, the one.
7.
Hey!
I rolled a 6, so I got 7.
Hey! One wonder, Humna, fantastic. With that, you do it perfectly. So describe how you were able to slow down time. You see Azul very much takes it, very much flash energy of them just which will be seconds once time kind of catches up, but they're doing their best to cut down whatever's near you. For you, what are you doing as you sort of get to Hurlock?
I think the way that this manifests is that the tattoos on Omera's skin start shifting into what is just a bunch of clocks. And it's just the gears are at first like turning. And then as Omera is using this chronomancy, the gears start to slow until they are barely moving at all. They are still moving because time has not stopped, but they are very slowly inching forward. And it's to mimic, I think, the way that time is moving around them in this moment. And so Ray runs up, activates their magic, and then starts, what exactly, remind me again how Hurlock is bound?
It's like a bunch of like vines that are like they're still moving, but they're like wrapping and binding them to the sort of base of this tree.
Okay. In that case, I think Omera's just gonna like use their hands, just start like breaking through vines and to free Hurlock.
Fantastic. You do your best you can. You get about maybe halfway as you see this thing begins to open as you hear it go. Who are you? Mortal. Oh, I think immortal.
I am Omera, and I am still figuring it out. Scrambling.
Still figuring it out. Scrambling. At this moment, time resumes back. In this instance, as you're doing this, going about, you see that tries to find the words. You notice it is a bit of a struggle for them in this instance, as just because they did what they did does not take away from the fact they burned their home down. Something you can relate with. They, at this point, transform from that of a owl to an eagle to get a little bit more of a height. My apologies for what I have done to you. Though you burned my home first, I understand what you did. You see this creature. You notice this, Omera, as their heart begins to slowly form here, or in the sense of what their true nature. You see that while there is this amalgamation of corpses and spirits and bones, there is a red spirit on top of this, acting like a necromancer, using their hands and motions to mimic. And you can sense if this spirit is taken out, this large beast will crack and dissipate. But as Ada gives that, you see X if we give a damn. As you see they take the scythe and hold Ada into place.
Thinking. Hurlock is free, right, at this point?
They're about to get free, yes.
Okay. I am going to finish the last little bit to free Hurlock, and without saying anything, just trusting that Hurlock's gonna, I'm gonna call out to Azul, and just her name, so that she can see, get Hurlock. And I am going to run over, I think jumping from where I am, because I'm up on this elevated sort of platform almost, right? From the ice magic that Azul had done. And so I'm going to jump, take a running jump off of it and try and land on top of Despair, on top of this giant creature, and try and climb up to where that red kind of figure is.
So my question here is, are we inflicting violence or are we trying to challenge someone dangerous?
We are just challenging someone dangerous.
Fantastic. They don't give a shit about your opinion whatsoever. They do think they are stronger than you.
Okay.
The crowd is on your side. I'll say the crowd is on your side because there's a bunch of people. Most of the living people here are on your side, so you get 2 for this.
Gotcha. God damn it! 11.
Every response of yours is, yeah, oh god damn it. 11. You push too far and your target reacts instantly and dangerously. You try to grasp, jumping in the air, going towards them. You see this thing is fast for its size. It looks towards you, using its other hand, as this is your body, they grab you and push you to a wall. Take 2 strain here. You should be thanking us. We are doing what you can't. Killing the gods. So why don't you sit there, relax, as we do what you should be doing. Serving our great master.
Heads up, I'm at 4 out of 5 strain, just so we know.
I know.
For the audience at home, 4 strain is described as your life is definitely in danger. You are on death's door. Your body is broken, crumpled. Your mind looks like it's been fed through a meat grinder. Chances are your divinity is the only thing keeping you up right now. If you take 1 more good hit, you will die. So with that, being pinned up against this wall, like the pain and the fatigue, both mental and physical, kind of pouring in at this point, and overwhelms Omera. And Omera's, I think, like tattoos you can see are starting to, I think they're like transitioned back. When the chrono magic stopped, they transitioned back into their florals and their vines and their thorns. And you can see that they are pulsating almost very slowly, almost like a heartbeat, but like a very weak heartbeat. And Omera, I think, with this hand pressing them up against the wall, says, "There is still time for change. Let her prove that people can change."
You see this spirit gets close to you. You see it's some weird distortion of what looked to be a humanoid figure. Their mouth is an amalgamation of jaws. Their eyes are slit like that of a lizard. Feathers of various natures grow along their side, and you see various scars of blood. Where was this innocence for my children? For my loves? The Empire loves filth. You see their body reacts. Took everything.
And the Empire will shatter for it. Let her help unto it.
And why should we listen to you as they crush you even further into the stone? You do not even kill gods. Godkiller, please. You are the god sparer. You don't even have the guts to do what is necessary. You don't deserve this power.
Because I believe in my own ability to change. I was just like them. But I can change, and I am changing. But if someone had just killed me, I would have never gotten the chance. Everyone at least deserves a chance. If she fails to do better, I will kill her. You have my word.
This instance here, the echoes now shall be known as a monster, echo in your head. You are violating a curse here, little lad. So in this
I don't want to be a monster.
I don't want to be a misty. I will say in this instance, when you answer, so choose one of these. When you are violating the terms of your curse, what shatters beyond repair, what mutates beyond recognition, and what shifts beyond your reach, you choose one of these bad boys here, and I will choose the other.
Oh. Can you go first?
It's just
Okay. I'll go
first.
Okay. I'm just trying to think.
You peruse notes.
Okay.
I think if I remember the last time I answered, if you want to know what I answered last time, I think it was what shatters beyond repair.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
What shifts beyond my reach is any capacity that I could have had to get the entirety or the majority of the rebels factions on side. That reputation that follows Omera, that whispers behind them, everything that says that they are too soft, too forgiving, too naive, too whatever, I think solidifies itself in a very real way in this moment. In a magical way, in a metaphorical way, in a literal way, solidifies in this moment. And whatever potential that there was for Omera to be a leader, a figure, a whatever in this rebellion shifts beyond their reach. Their philosophy, their way of approaching all of this is just too different. And the most that Ray can do is help in whatever way people will let them.
You're not the main character of your own story. I will answer later.
Huh?
I'm gonna save it more spirit for a moment of what mutates beyond recognition. So I will save that for a second. In this instance here, I'll give you a little bit of narrative pull. As you see, Herlock is beginning to open their wings, their light expanding, and this moment, you have a moment with this creature. What do?
I look at this creature directly in the eyes, in the many different eyes from all of the different bodies that are forming to create it, and Omera starts to cry. But not in like this sobbing way, but just softly cry as they look into the eyes of these people. That's what they are, is they're people who have been wronged by systems of power. That's what they are. They are people. And they do not deserve to be killed here just because we see their pain as monstrous. And so Omera cries as Ray looks into their eyes. And says, everyone is working to make things better. To burn all of this to the ground. To avenge your deaths. And the deaths of everyone that you've loved. You should have been here. to fight for that yourself. But doing this will not get you what you want. Let the living fight for you, for your memory. Don't write off everyone.
You are sparing a god. Roll 2d6s for me, please.
I got a 3.
Got a 3. Do not worry in this instance, especially what you have with you. The curse is something we'll get into later. As it is less of a curse, but more of an understanding of who you are. You see the bones begin to crack, loosen, and this image of this monstrous figure turns into a woman, a mother, a ghost. You don't know who they are, whether if they were someone important or another casualty. All you know is the sadness in their eyes as they whisk you closer, shifting from red to a cool, sad blue, and embrace you like a mother would a child. And they whisper in your ear, "Thou shalt not forgive the sons and daughters of the Empire for their crimes." It's not really a curse, not necessarily a blessing. It's more of a reminder as they let you gently down. And you swear, even though you don't know this woman, the things she did, the things she could have done, the people she's lost, she holds that same grip that your mother had before floating away into nothing. How's Amir feeling in this moment?
It is that love and that rage that you feel for somebody that you don't know, but that you feel connected to because they are people. That's it, they're just people. And Omera doesn't know this woman, doesn't know any of the people that made up Despair, but they do. They do. And so Omera turns after being let down and walks over to Ada and says, "Do not misunderstand me. I do not consider us allies. What I am giving you is a mercy, one that is very tenuous. That is your fault, and the fault of every Archon that dared to think that they could rule over everyone. You have a choice now. You can decide to help undo your mistakes, or you can die here and suffer the same fate that you have forced upon hundreds of innocent people. So what do you choose?
You see, they transform slowly back into their normal form. And Ada surprises you in every way. As for the first time, I think, in forever, you see an Archon weep. I watched my home burn. Innocents die at the hands of monsters. I thought if I could protect and grow my groves, that I could make up for this. But I was wrong. Neglectful. I have forgotten what it is like to be mortal. They call you a godkiller, but you're just common sense. You are our medicine. One I gladly take. My liege, as they bow to you.
We do not bend the knee here, Ada. Do you want to know what it's like to be mortal again?
Someday. But I am needed. You, on the other hand, should go see about that cure.
Come with us. Fight with us. It's the only way. It's the right thing to do.
You see, they pull a sword from their side. By the trays of my homeland, by the change of the seasons, I pledge myself in service to you, Omera, the Witch of Malay. Now, until the day I draw my last breath, I am yours forever. As you feel a pact is made. As that is going, you see coming down in this bright light, foot only a toe touching the water as the water begins to ripple, but not in it, only floating above. Golden light. Thank you, child. I was trapped by those vines of corruption. You are owed a gift, a boon, a blessing. It is my wish. What do you seek?
A cure. For myself and all of the others afflicted by this terrible magic.
I can give you a cure, but not of the quantity you demand or request. My energy is low, and I only have enough for one.
Then that will do.
You see, they take the water, breathing life into a vial, and cork it, dropping it in your hand. Know this. Take the cure, and you will become mortal. No more divinity. No more magic. Simply a child of the world of old. Use it wisely.
Thank you.
They give you a gentle kiss on the forehead. Now go. I must heal my woods, and you have your own destiny about you.
And Omera will nod, give like a tiny little bow, and will gesture for Azul and Ada to join them on the way back. Now that we have Ada, I'm hoping that we don't have to walk to the rendezvous point.
As always, do not have to walk. But my question to you, do you take this cure and use it?
No.
Why?
There's someone else that needs it.
Fantastic. With that understanding, what mutates beyond your recognition is not a bad thing. The person that walked into that cove, that tunnel, was a scared mortal who didn't understand their place in the world and why they fight. Coming out like a tale of old of a hero dead, resurrected. You walk out in slow motion, you feel the sun's warmth on your face. Omera died in that tunnel. What stands before us now? While given a name that is meant to be derogatory, to be a warning, like everything Omera touches, has turned into something more. You're no longer the witch of Mali. You are the godkiller of Mali. And you will set this world right, no matter how long it takes. And that is where we shall end our episode for today.
You got me all emotional.
Yes, I was like, I finally did it.
You got me all
I think
emotional.
I saw a tear.
No.
Yeah, yeah, emotional damage this time. Yay, yay, everyone! I made him to cry. Yay! That was a life goal, ladies and gentlemen. You saw that in 4K. With that in mind, well, I think real quick before we do, take a deep breath. Godkiller, Omera, Hamna. Please give your sweet plugs here to let these folks know where they can find you.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. You can find me all over the social medias at Lilith TTRPG, and it has been my absolute pleasure and honor tonight of playing Omera, who uses they, they pronouns. Chris got me. Chris got me today. I can't believe. Chris, it's all you.
I am good at my job, ladies and gentlemen. With that in mind, I have been your heart-wrenching godkiller for these preceding evenings. With that in mind, you can catch me on Twitter while it's still alive at VO_Cologne. That's COLOM. If you want some more heart-wrenching drama and all the shenaniganery. With that in mind, this was the third to last episode, which means we're heading into our penultimate and finale, folks. A lot has gone through, a lot has happened, and there's still more to come. But until then, everyone, we hope you have a lovely night. Hug those you love, and remember, things get better. Till then, folks, we'll see you later. Have a good night.